Well, good morning, humanity. It is May 23rd, 2020, and it is our favorite time of the week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
Hello, Bev.
Hello, Paul.
So I found out this week people actually listen to our podcast and our, and our thing.
Yay.
Yay, yay. We got a call from a lady in Alabama, and she said she found us Googling and went and listened to some podcasts. And her one thing was, I just love you guys.
Aw, we love you too.
Yeah. So I thought that's what we'd talk about today. I was reading a little blurb in somewhere, I can't remember where it was, and it talked about the light. And and I thought immediately about BioTouch because it talked about how a room could be dark for eons of time, and all it takes is bringing in a little bit of light into that room, no matter how long it's been dark, and boom, it's all lit up. And I thought
Yep.
that's BioTouch.
That's what BioTouch does to our little dark rooms called
Yes,
bodies.
yes.
Yep,
No matter how long you've had the problem, you could have been
that's right.
born with it. It could be chronic, it could be acute. And so I thought we'd talk about, how BioTouch it can be that light, that shining light to help us in our
Yeah.
process of healing.
Well, let me begin by saying that years ago, it came to me that BioTouch, and we've said this, not a new thought for us, but the BioTouch is a divine idea whose time has come. Boy, do we need that light now? So what is light? Well, if we talk about love, which is the essence of all things, we're told, then light is that manifested essence of love that we register in the physical world. So light is the physical manifestation of love. So if we look at it that way, then if all is love, then all is light here.
Right.
And so when we that the act of actual sharing BioTouch and the fact that we are present and honoring and one with that recipient, that's light. It's that self-awareness is part of that unfolding light that comes into the body through that touch. And again, light is manifested love. So when we share BioTouch, that's what's going on.
It's funny as we're talking now. I'm thinking, okay, here's the love, right? And immediately went to that movie E.T., right? Didn't he have the little
Yes,
light on the
exactly.
fingertips?
Exactly. Oh, yes, I am the light of the world.
Yeah, so,
We've had many, many amazing teachers for us.
yes,
Three of them actually tell us that
yes.
we're the light of the world.
And it's all said throughout all the writings through countless
Yes.
eons of time that we are the light, and now it's BioTouch is that opportunity to bring that light into our relationships with one another. As you talked about self-awareness. So,
Yes.
so we thought we would also, that we have a whole section of our manual that we don't read very often, but
Well, we used to.
yeah, right. But
There
we're going to read it today, one part of it in the
you go.
epilogue. So if you want a the only philosophy we have is in the preface and the epilogue. That's it. And we
Yeah.
don't go much into. There's no belief system. There's no levels. But there's some fun writings that help us with
Kind
this
of conjecture.
conjecture. That's a good word.
That's what,
Right.
that's what
So
we're putting in there.
here's a good conjecture on self knowledge, right? That we were just talking about the light. We have a little section. It goes like this: Know thyself. Every human being is the vehicle of his own destiny. Each is free to venture into some elegant area of thought and peer with yearning trepidation into the obscure shadows. Those who refrain from this liberty will live an ordinary life, be conditioned by ordinary thoughts, exhibit doubts that have ordinarily been postulated by others, Such people are part of the ordinary problem, seeking ordinary solutions. It is the ordinary role for the ordinary man and is clearly the most comfortable for ordinary peace of mind. The ordinary provides no favorable climate for progress.
Well, you know what I was thinking about when you were reading that? Oh my, and that's the state we're in right now. I have heard people go, well, when we get back to the old normal,
Right.
sorry, the
Right.
light is here. And more of humanity is awakening into their own light, which is consciousness. We call it self-awareness. That's why BioTouch is so important. It's here to jumpstart, stimulate us into the light of our own essence, which is love.
Right. And
you know, it's very important.
It's vital. It's vital for healing. And science is catching up with it too. We hear,
yeah,
to change the cellular talk, to change the cellular memories, to change, that goes into the DNA. All you have to do is bring love into the thought system.
It changes the story.
Yes. And so what we have found with BioTouch is those two ET fingers touching another human being lightly on the skin begins the dialogue to change and
turns on the light bulb.
Yes, and then the room will light up. It will light up. It's incredible, and you see it every time you just do the greeting on someone. You see it every time. I mean, next month we're going up to Prescott Valley. It's a free health program thing that I think Seventh-day Adventist Church runs, and they have doctors and dentists, and they're going to have BioTouch as part of this health. It's like a health fair, but they actually they bring dentist chairs in. They work on people's teeth for the
crazy.
For the poor people.
Well, we're honored, I know.
Yeah, and so we're going to go up and bring a little light through touch. And what's nice about it is it breaks the barriers of any belief system. It works no matter what your religious, philosophical, political belief system is. It neutralizes the game, and works for everyone. And it's easy to learn. I just had somebody post on Instagram, well, I live sort of far away. I mean, they only live in Oracle, but I really want to learn it. Long way away.
Okay.
But it's so easy for us now to teach. I mean, our ordinary left live training, and we now move into online training, virtual training.
Right.
I'm now meeting with a woman in England, just outside of London. And we're going over the manual, we're going over the dialogue. And you know what's interesting? I realized this as she was sitting there and I was here, and we're thousands of miles away in different time zones. I didn't feel separate from her. I really didn't feel much different than if she was sitting with me in a room.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and we're talking about BioTouch, and we're talking about how it can be for all people. And I taught her some points. She was going to go that evening and work on her grandchildren. But as I'm looking just one-on-one with her, the light of our beingness or whatever, it shines even through this, whatever this is called here.
Right.
And if we can pass it on through this virtual training and get people to touch one another just in their little circle of friends and family, oh my God, talk about
that's our job.
Talk about transformative,
I know.
And that's breaking the ordinary thought system.
Right. It's time, huh?
So we are here to do whatever that takes to bring that little bit of light into that dark room. So it doesn't matter what the disease is. It doesn't matter whether it's a pain, a symptom of a disease, if it's stress. We're also going to be blessed here in next month or July or something to have Kenna present what she's finding with the data.
That would be awesome.
She's finding through this pandemic, people want to go back to normal, but through those 2 years, there was such high level of stress and isolation with people that she's finding a high incidence of tumors and cancers in people.
Oh my.
And her feeling with that is it's because those interleukin-12 levels are plummeting. and the
Yeah.
cortisol levels are getting whacked out.
Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she found with the research, it's on our website, BioTouch raises interleukin 12 levels and regulates our circadian rhythms.
Yep.
I just went to a sleep seminar. A woman who has a sleep center here in Tucson, and listening to the whole thing, I'm like, oh my God, people need BioTouch with this.
I know.
So
that's true.
So bring a little light into your life with BioTouch
and somebody else's life.
Yes, yes. And what's nice about that is the circle. If I'm a light and you're a light, and we start touching one another, it just
blow that room apart.
That's right. The watts get bigger and bigger and bigger, and pretty soon it's a huge spotlight. Remember those things back in when you were a kid in LA? I mean, in California, and your dad he'd have big openings, and they had those huge spotlights that they put on the street with the big candle light. Shoot it! My dad used to do those all the time for grand openings. That's what BioTouch is.
Wow.
We're starting to take these spotlights and shoot them into the ozone. And we need you to help do that. We need more light fingers around the globe to bring light to the darkness that's falling upon us as a humanity, right?
Well, if you think about it this way, BioTouch already belongs to everybody.
Right.
It's not like you have to go get it. It's already there.
Right.
And you just have to shine that light into that dark room, and just, there it is. It's already there.
So again, we want to make sure you learn these points. So we're going to teach you the eye set, because light, you need the light to see. And so we'll share with you the eye set. We'll just show you the one side, very simple set. Works with any kind of eye problem. So let's check it out.
The eye set is performed on the same side of the head. It may be used to address any type of eye conditions. Hold point X is located on both sides of the head and may be found in either of the following ways. Place the first two fingers of one hand in the indentation beside the neck muscle at the base of the skull, then slide the fingers up the back of the skull, over a rise in the bone, to a very definite valley or dent, which is hold point X. Another way to find X is to estimate a point about 1/3 of the way down from the top of the ear and 1 to 1.5 inches behind the back edge of the ear. Again, there is a definite valley or dent in the skull, and this is hold point X. It is also the same as point 4 of the head set. To perform this set, hold X and touch points 1 through 4, which are on the same side of the head as X. These points are in a line beginning at point 1, which is just in front of where the ear meets the face. Point 2 is halfway between point 1 and the outside corner of the eye. Point 3 is at the outside corner of the eye. To touch point 4, ask the recipient to close their eye and touch on the recipient's closed eyelid. This is a sensitive area, so work gently.
There you go. And then you do the other side. 4 points.
The other side.
Right along there.
Yep.
As I'm listening to that, I have to read the last paragraph here. So we ended with the ordinary provides no favorable climate for progress.
Right.
For those who seek the summit to glimpse the mighty possibilities of the absolute, there is no such comfort. No comfort of the ordinary. Once having crossed the Rubicon, one may not retreat with impunity, but continue to gaze with exquisite anxiety upon the alluring abyss, endeavor to grasp the untouchable and penetrate the vastness of the unknowable. Paradise may be the sublime experience discovered when one is lost in a limitless extension of infinity. It is an incredible challenge. The manifestation of creation is extraordinary. You know something? That really is BioTouch. That really breaks the ordinary and moves us into the exquisite beauty of manifestation.
And the reason why it's so important now is because humanity is experiencing a an opening of a crystallized way of being. All of our social paradigms, everything, our priorities, everything that we thought was important and necessary, a lot of humanity is starting to take another look and really go into that and break the old programming. This is part of BioTouch's gift. We know on that journey of self-awareness, it's here to break the old pattern that brought us to that point in the first place.
Right.
And a lot of that is, is where your body is. So it holds everything.
If you didn't have a body, you wouldn't be here, folks. So
yeah, absolutely.
Let's use it.
It's the temple.
Let's bring a little light to one another. Ways that we also are going to teach it. We have a really nice health condition workshop coming up this Thursday with our lovely Michelle Cardenas. She's with Brightway Wellness. If you want to check out her website, we're going to talk about varicose veins. Michelle's experience with it, how she dealt with it, how the medical system dealt with it. And then, of course, we'll teach you some points to deal with it. Our next virtual training is in July. So check that out. Also, remember, if you know any massage therapists or doulas or nurses that need continuing ed credits, send them to BioTouch. There's probably no more fun way to get their CE credits. So anything else about the light that you want to share?
No, just keep yourself open to it, because it is already in you. And one of the most amazing ways to share that light is through sharing BioTouch.
Yes.
It's time. It has come.
Its time has come. And, I really saw that this week, getting 4 different calls, Arkansas, Alabama.
I know. I'm busy
London.
This week too.
Right. You've been teaching people. So we like being busy. Give us a call. Office@justtouch.com. If you want to send us an email, go to our website, justtouch.com. Send your friends and family. Listen to the podcast. Listen to the videos. Send it out to people. Let's start really sending the light out around the world. And I don't know. There must be some song about the light, but I can't think of it.
Oh, I'm sure. Somewhere.
All right. So thank you all for joining us and letting us into your home and into your computer and onto your phone. Thank you, Bev. Take care of yourself. And we'll see everybody next week.
We will. Have a great week.
If pain has got you down and you live in town, take a trip down to Pima Street. The people down there are people who care. They will get you back on your feet. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand. But healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action.